So here is it. So you should see a GitHub page in my Chrome window.
Yep, so good.
Great. Okay, so today I want to give a short lightning talk, 10 minutes around, about a small project I did. It's called aminilog. Some words about me. I'm Stefan Lengfeld. I'm working for inovex and I'm a Linux and Android embedded developer. So let's dig into AOSP code. So as an Android embedded developer, most of the time of the day, you are looking at AOSP code and trying to figure out how something works. I'm reading C++ code, reading Java code, reading other code. And when you here, for example, I have code from the camera server in the camera service.cpp. And when you read the code, you see these logging macros. So here we have, for example, ALOG-E for information log. And here we have ALOG-E for error log. And below there is, again, on ALOG-E, ALOG-E. So because you do read a lot of this code, you already know these logging macros. And you also see the output of them in the logcat buffer. So you are very familiar with these logging macros. And the Android developers also provided a nice documentation about it. So here we are in the file system logging liblog readme.file. And here are all the public functions and macros that are exported by the internal liblog library that is available for code built inside the AOSP. And here you also see we have an ALOG macro, we have an ALOG-V macro, ALOG-V for debugging, ALOG-E, and also conditional logging and a lot of other stuff, and also assertions in this available inside the AOSP for AOSP code. And now sometimes you are writing not AOSP code or not debugging AOSP code, but you're writing NDK code or code that runs in an app. And if you develop C or C++ code for an app, the Android developers has exposed or given us the NDK. It's the native development kit. This is a set of functions and libraries and header files exported, which are publicly documented and stable and can be used in app and C code and C++ code that runs in app. And in this app, when I write there C and C++ code, I also want to do logging. So if we ask the internet, for example, Stack Overflow, how any simple way to log into Android NDK code, we got this answer. This is a very old answer, but you see we have to include this header, log.h, define some name for a tag, the tag, and then use the Android log print function to log something in the Android log buffer from our app. And this is very old code because it says you should use android.mk, but android.mk for apps is deprecated since, I don't know, 10 years or something. So the next answer is the correct one. You should use in CMake. You can include the liblog library in CMake with this code. And then again, also use this function Android log print, which is exported by the NDK. And this answer is even better because it already defines some useful macros you can use in your NDK code. If we look at the functions that are exported by the NDK for logging, here is the documentation in the NDK page, on the NDK page. You here see the Android log function. There are a bunch of other functions which do something slightly different. The core point is that you only get this function with the arguments priority, which are non-enum, which is defined, a tag name, mostly your app name or something else, and a format, so the string we want to log, and arguments which are then assembled into the string. And this is everything the NDK exports. So you get the bare API, and this bare API is exported and stable across for all Android devices. You are not getting nice macros that you can use in your NDK code. Yes, of course, you can copy these from the Stack Overflow answer, but I've done it for you and also make a small twist because we are reading all, as Android developers, we're reading all the AOSP code, so why just not use the same logging macros from the AOSP also in our NDK projects? So I wrote this small header library It's called aminilog. So here I just read out the description. The aminilog library is a header-only library providing logging macros for NDK projects. The macros are identical to macros used in the AOSP. If you want to start C++ code in an app that eventually becomes AOSP code, so sometimes you are moving, just writing code in the NDK because it's faster than moving the same code in the AOSP. Or if you are working primarily in the AOSP code base and want the same macros in your new NDK-based project, or if you do not want to write your macros yourself, this library is for you. The goal is to have 100% compatibility to the AOSP style logging macros provided by liblog. Liblog is the library inside the AOSP. Compiling the code against the NDK or against the liblog library should result in the same runtime behavior. So really 100% compatibility is the goal. How to use it? It's quite easy. It's very simple. You just have to copy the code from the repository in your NDK or CMake project of your app. Then add via CMake the CMake library of the CMake header file of the library. Then add a compile definition to get the same behavior as inside the AOSP. And then you have to define a log tag, which is also the same behavior that is used in the AOSP. There's also at the top of each file, you have to define a log tag. Then includes the header file, and then you can use the ALOG-D, ALOG-E, ALOG-V, and ALOG-E logging macros. And that's it. A bit more about it. Here, this is code from tests. So yes, this small logging library has some tests. And here also we see how it works. We define the log tag, we include it, and then we can use it in the C code or C++ code. And also I have also added some kind of conditionals that are also available in the inside AOSP. And yeah, that's everything. If some log macros are missing, so something which is available in the AOSP but not available here, just add it and open a pull request. I'm happy to add it. And yeah, that's it from my side. Any questions? So I have not looked at the chat window. Are there any questions in the chat? Yes, the chat.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, you good.
Okay. Well, certainly I appreciate that, because I have exactly the same thing, that I'm mostly writing stuff within AOSP, but then if I'm working with NDK, it's kind of annoying. It has been annoying in the past that I can't use the same macros. Now I can, so that's great.
Nice.
So I like it. Okay. Great. Well, thank you much once again, Stefan. Let me just stop the recording.